accessing sheer files. Unsaid, denied, file corrupted, the evil playback. Title, as old. In a small town called Mistwood, fog hung thick in the air every morning, wrapping the narrow streets and quaint houses in a dreamy embrace. The sky was often gray, blocking out the sun and giving the town an eerie feeling. Jack, a 30-year-old man with a love for adventure, had lived in Mistwood his whole life. Even though the fog was sometimes burdensome, he found beauty in the mystery it created. Jack had a close group of friends, including his childhood buddy, Dan. Their friendship blossomed through shared interests, hiking in the nearby woods, late-night gaming sessions, and long talks about their dreams. However, recently, Jack noticed Dan acting strangely. It began with odd remarks and an unusual distance forming between them. For instance, during their weekly gaming night, Dan couldn't focus and kept looking over his shoulder as if someone was watching. One evening, Jack invited Dan over for a movie night. As the fog rolled in, enveloping the town, he could sense something different about his friend. Before the movie had started, Dan fidgeted, his eyes darting toward the window. Jack asked, "Are you okay, man? You seem a bit on edge." Dan forced a laugh. "Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired, I guess. The fog does weird things to me." Jack shrugged it off. After all, they lived in Mistwood, where fog was a natural part of life. However, as the weeks went by, Dan's behavior worsened. He stopped responding to texts, canceled plans, and even missed their hiking trips. Jack's worry deepened. He decided to confront him. One foggy Saturday, Jack dragged Dan down to his small weather-beaten house on the edge of town. The sight of Dan's home, with its cracked windows and peeling paint, added to Jack's unease. Jack knocked gently at the door. A moment later, it creaked open, revealing a disheveled Dan, eyes wide and unsteady. "Jack, what are you doing here?" Dan exclaimed, glancing around as if expecting someone to be lurking in the shadows. "I'm worried about you, Dan. You've been acting really strange. Can we talk?" Dan hesitated, but finally nodded. He led Jack inside, where the air felt heavier than the fog outside. The room was dim, cluttered with piles of old newspapers and strange symbols drawn on sheets of paper. Jack raised an eyebrow, but said nothing as he followed Dan to the couch. "Things have been happening," Dan began, his voice trembling. "I can feel it in the fog. It whispers. It's like it knows me, like it's calling for something." Jack's heart raced. "What do you mean? What's the fog telling you?" "I don't know how to explain," Dan said, looking increasingly distressed. "Sometimes I feel like I'm not alone, like there's something watching me. It's been getting worse. My family, they're different." "What do you mean?" Jack asked, confused. "I've been seeing things. My family, they act strange when they're outside in the fog. They don't even recognize me sometimes. It's like they're changed." A chill ran down Jack's spine. "Maybe you should see someone, Dan. I don't want you to go through this alone." "No," Dan said fiercely. "You don't understand. I think it's the town, the fog. Something is wrong here." Uncertain, Jack shifted in his seat. He took a deep breath, trying to maintain calm. "All right, let's figure it out together." you're not alone in this. Dan's face softened, but his eyes still showed fear. Thanks, Jack. Just promise me you won't leave me alone in the fog. That night, they decided to venture into the mist together. They walked through the town, the fog curling around their ankles like a living thing. As they approached the woods, the atmosphere grew heavier. Jack felt a sense of dread creeping in, but he pushed it aside to support his friend. What do you want to do? Jack asked, trying to encourage Dan. Let's walk deeper into the woods. I feel like if we go further, maybe we can find out what's happening, Dan replied, determination returning to his voice. As they made their way through the thick trees, they soon found themselves disoriented. The fog thickened, swirling around them like a ghostly figure. The world around them started to go silent, the usual sounds of the night fading into nothing. Jack called out, Dan, where are you? But when he turned around, Dan was gone. Panic surged in Jack's chest. Dan, he yelled, running through the fog, pushing past trees. His heart pounded in his ears. The mist began to swirl more aggressively, wrapping itself around him, turning the forest into an otherworldly maze. Suddenly, Jack stumbled upon a clearing filled with fog, where he saw a figure sitting on the ground. Dan, he shouted, rushing forward. As he got closer, he realized the figure was not Dan, but a woman with hollow eyes and an unsettling smile. Welcome, traveler. You see your friend, she said softly, voice like the rustle of leaves. Where is he? Jack demanded, anger and fear mixing inside. Dan is one of us now, she continued, her smile broadening. The fog has claimed him. He will forget you, just as her family forgets you. Jack's stomach dropped. He turned and saw shadowy figures emerging from the mist, familiar faces that looked like family members, but their eyes were void of recognition. They reached for him, calling his name in distorted whispers. Help! Jack screamed, trying to back away, but the fog thickened around him, pulling him down into darkness. The last thing he saw was Dan standing in the clearing, a vacant expression on his face, as if he had never known Jack at all. When Jack finally awoke, it was morning. The fog had lifted, revealing a sunlit mistwood. Confused, he rushed home, hoping it was just a nightmare. But when he entered his house, everything felt off. His mother greeted him with a distant look, her smile cold and unfeeling. Hi, Honorable. Who are you looking for? She asked her words, sending chills down his spine. Jack realized the truth. The fog had claimed him too, taking away all the connections he once held dear. As he stood there, lost in a town that had now forgotten him, he could only remember Dan and the darkness that consumed them both. The fog rolled in again, wrapping Mistwood like a choking embrace, leaving him alone in a world of silence.